Take a second to subscribe to Times of Wrestling Podcast on YouTube and hit that bell notification.
What's up, everybody? This is Times of Wrestling Podcast here today with a special guest, Red Velvet from AEW. So today we'll be interviewing her, talking about AEW, what's it like backstage with all the wrestlers and everything like that. Then we're going to go into some hobbies, things she likes to do during this hard time. So first, like every single episode, guys, we're going to show our screens. Yeah. So I don't want to go to ours first. Here's Red Velvet. You could follow her on Instagram at La Velvet. And then is there a Twitter? Or we see a YouTube down below. Is there a Twitter, Facebook, anything else you'd like to tag?
Yes. Twitter is the Red Velvet with 2 T's. So that's TheeredVelvett. And then Facebook, you can find me under Red Velvet is like my wrestling profile, but I'm more on my regular page, which is Stephanie Cardona, because they don't let me put Red Velvet. So Facebook, you guys can find me under Stephanie Cardona.
Okay. Yeah.
And if I'm not mistaken, you were in Impact Wrestling for a little while, right?
No, I was not.
Oh, you weren't?
No.
Oh, there's someone very similar.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So and then you guys see down below her YouTube. So everybody go subscribe to that, like, and there's videos out on there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So everybody go like, comment, and subscribe. Now, for anybody that's not following right now, go to our page and go follow. We have a YouTube down below and also a Twitter that just came out 3 nights ago. So everybody go follow that and yeah, go subscribe. And then we're gonna go to our Twitter. So everybody, let me go there. Everybody, let's go up. Everybody go to the Twitter and follow. Yeah, we posted about the card. I think we actually posted the card right when it came out. So everybody that has not seen the matches for next week for Dynamite, everybody go see that. We do not know the dark matches, but right when it comes out, we will post it. So have some patience, everybody. And yeah, so we're gonna stop sharing our screen and we're gonna get right into it. So my co-host Jordan, he'll be asking the first questions. We don't want to do a lot because anything like that, he'll say 2 or 3, maybe 4, and I'll say 2 or 3. So Jordan, go right into it.
All right. Growing up as a wrestling fan, did you ever picture yourself becoming a wrestler?
Yes and no, because I started watching wrestling with my mom. I think I was like in the 3rd grade. And I remember watching the Hardys and Lita, especially when they debuted Saving Her and she joined their team. And I fell in love with her and just her gimmick and how powerful and beautiful she was. So I told my mom that same day, I was a 3rd grader, that had to have been like 97, 98, that I was going to be a professional wrestler when I grew up. But when I look back, I think I said it jokingly. Maybe I really was serious. I was like 9 or 10 years old. Maybe I was serious, but I never like followed through after that because, you see wrestling and you're like, oh, that's like so higher up there. So I never really like proceeded with it after that. I became a dancer and my whole life revolved around dance. And so then I came back to watching wrestling and I was like, oh God, like, I'm older now. Wrestling schools exist. Like I could really do this. So I think it's funny and it goes full circle how like I said it jokingly when I was little and then the world did a full circle and now I am a wrestler. So.
And one thing that I hear from a lot of different wrestlers, and one thing that I know from a lot of my friends when we were younger, like everybody started watching wrestling around the same age. It's so weird how everybody has the same sort of answer on that part.
Yeah, I was just like flipping the channel with my mom and it was like The Rock versus Stone Cold. It had to have been like a street match or something because they went out to the audience and everything. And we were just like, it was the first time we had ever seen it. And we were just drawn into it. And then I went back to school and was having a conversation with the guys, coincidentally. And they're like, yeah, we watched SmackDown and Raw too. And then I was the only girl in my 3rd grade class that like watched wrestling. So I always used to hang out with the boys. And it was cool because I had protection. No one ever bullied me because I used to always be hanging out with the boys. But it was because they loved that I watched wrestling and couldn't believe it that I was a 3rd grader and a girl watching wrestling.
Oh, that's nice. So do you... Being a wrestler, I know a lot of wrestlers have their different types of moves. Do you have any moves you named? Could you name a few?
Yes. So I have my finisher is called Just Desserts, and it's like a leg grab turn. It's like a split leg drop. So like I
Mm-hmm.
grab my leg, I spin first with my leg grabbed up, and then I land on the split in the back of the head of the person. That's Just Desserts. And then I have Guilty Pleasure, which is a version of my version of a wheelbarrow bulldog.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think I don't remember what other one I have. I like to put like sweet type of names on them. So, but those are like my signature and my finisher. It's Just Desserts and Guilty Pleasure. So
And can I ask how you got the name Red Velvet?
first, when I went to start getting into wrestling, it was like WWE had that whole Tough Enough stuff. So they wanted you to film a video and all that. So I went to go shoot a video in my friend's backyard, and I had no idea like what I wanted my name to be. And I just said Red Violet because I think somebody gave me that name once as like my alter ego. And he was a huge wrestling fan. He was like, ew, hell no, that's ugly. You should just call yourself Red Velvet because you kind of look like a red velvet cake. Like at the time, my hair was really, really red. And it was
Mm-hmm.
like, he was like, you have that beautiful chocolate skin and that red hair. Like, yeah, you should totally be Red Velvet. So I just kind of like winged it. I wasn't really like, I didn't know how far my video for Tough Enough was going to go and stuff like that. So I was like, all right, let's go with it. And then I just ran with it, and now it took off. So
Did you ever
that's
get
how
to show? Did you ever get to go to the performance center for Tough Enough?
No, I did not. I made it to the second or third round of their like Skype interviews, had like my
Mm-hmm.
interview shown on TV and some of my images. But unfortunately, they didn't ask me to go to the show. But I always say that everything is like a blessing in disguise because
Mm-hmm.
I got so much positive feedback. So many people like retweeting it. It went on Twitter. It was shown on TV. I had people call me like, oh, I saw you on SmackDown, blah, blah, blah. So it just kind of like lit that fire. And I was like, you know what? Like, let's go look at wrestling schools. Like, let's really make this happen. And that's actually what triggered me, like really pushed me to go out and look for schools. And then I started wrestling training from there on, and then it took off. So I don't see it as like a downfall that I didn't make it on the show. I think it was just kind of like the way my story was written to get me in the door to start wrestling.
And my final question before I turn it over to my co-host Trent, what wrestlers do you idolize?
I idolize a lot of wrestlers, and like I've gotten to meet some of them like face to
Mm-hmm.
face at shows and still catch up with them and stuff like that. So that's like that can go like a long list, but like I'm just a huge supporter of wrestling. So I'm trying to like pick out just a few. Lita, I watched Lita growing up. Lita and Trish were very big that I idolized. I love R-Truth. Like something that just
Mm-hmm.
about him, like the way he moves, the way he's just so genuinely himself. So I go back and I look at some of his stuff too, because I take it like he dances, I dance, I don't rap, but like, we kind of have like the same type
Mm-hmm.
of style. So I do like to go back and study some of his work. I love wrestlers like Dean Malenko and the Briscoes, obviously. I go back and I watch them because I like to take a little bit of everything. So I watch luchadors. I watch people who were very big on like groundwork. I can't sit here and name everyone, but I do always go back and study a little bit of everything because that's the style I want. I've always been known for being very versatile in general, like even when I used to dance and everything. So I stick with that. I like to be very versatile. I don't like to just be like a ground wrestler or shoe or power. I like to take a little bit of everything. So I do a lot of watching. I watch a lot of people in the independents too, because you want to be able to knowledge yourself with what's in the same area as you and what people are doing, so you can like go out of the box and make yourself different.
And I think about speaking of R-Truth, as you stated in your thing, about 5 or 6 years ago, out of nowhere I was like flipping through channels as you said, and I just saw R-Truth with all his piercings and this and stuff, and he had hit a dad right in front of the fans, and I was like so scared for a while to watch that.
Yeah, I like him. He's very like I say like reliable in the business. You can give him anything to do and he'll do it without thinking twice about it. And he does it to like his full potential. Never like he doesn't have an ego and stuff. So I admire that. But the wrestling world is huge. So I don't want to take credit from anyone by saying, oh, these and these and these are my favorites, because I literally watch everyone, and you can learn a little bit of everything by watching everybody.
All right. Trent?
Great, yeah. So I'm just gonna ask a question before we get into my questions. How many matches were you in for Dark? Like, how many matches?
I've only done one AEW Dark match right now, and I had a match with the champ Sheeta on Dynamite. That's where I'm at right now, only because I had to take a break. I was near people in my family that tested positive for COVID, so I had to stay back from TV tapings because you're not allowed to be there if you had any type of association with someone that tested positive. So right now I'm off TV because of that, but I've stayed home, quarantine, and I should be back soon. So you guys gotta keep your eyes open.
Yeah.
And now that women's tournament is coming up, so I'm gonna make sure I write my name on that.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, Trent. But do you have a tag team partner in mind?
If I had to pick one right away, I'd love to tag with Big Swole. I think we have the most chemistry as far as like. I've worked her before out of all the girls currently on the signed to the roster. I've worked her the most recent in the indies, and I vibe with her, like just the way she moves, the way she is. We're like very similar, so she'd be like my number one pick, but I think I'd be fortunate to tag with anyone. I'd be fortunate just to be in the tournament. So if I had to say someone who's like currently signed, I would go with Big Swole. And then if it was talent that isn't signed yet but would be in the tournament, that's hard because there's a lot of girls who aren't signed. But I'd be down to tag with anyone. So, but if I had to pick, like they said, right now I'd go with Big Swole.
Okay.
Great. So yeah, from that question I asked before, I'll go into a question now. What's it like going against like the champ and then a great tag team like Allie and Brandy Rhodes, like two very good wrestlers? So what's it like?
It was great. It was very nerve-wracking because you are going up against like the CEO of the company, so that's pressure. But we had a great match. They were both great to work with. I'm looking forward to getting in the ring with them anytime again. They were awesome. Kenzie, my partner, was amazing. She's only 18 years old, and she has a bright future ahead of her. And going up against Cheetah was nerve-wracking because, I'm in there getting ready to do what I do, and she's over there fired up looking at Penelope. So I'm like a little bit sidetracked. Like, are you paying attention to like this match? Are you really in there? Are you going to do it? So she just came super quick. Obviously, the odds didn't end in my favor. But I don't take that. Any loss is a true loss if you don't learn from it. So I'm always down and ready for round two. I answered her open challenge that I'm ready for round two. I'm not going to sit back and lay down for the 1, 2, 3 just because it didn't go as planned the first time. But it's overall, it's been a great experience, and I'm grateful that I was picked to wrestle such great talent and even be in the ring with them.
Great, yeah. So this might take you a little time to think of, and I mean, if we'll give you a top 5 to choose from. If there's a top 5 of your favorite wrestlers that you've wrestled or watched from any company, WWE, Impact, Ring of Honor, Indies, AEW, who would it be in your top 5?
Top 5 that I've worked, right? That I've wrestled, or
like any wrestler you've watched or wrestled.
That's hard. It has to be female, right?
No,
it could be both.
Oh, anybody. Okay, top 5. Definitely got to give it to Brandy and Allie because it was a pleasure working with them. Huge fan of Dustin Rhodes. He actually spends a lot of time training the girls down at AEW when we go. Huge, really, really big on him. He's helped me a lot. Top 5. This is hard. Big Swole because I worked her. I'm thinking people on TV because the indies, it's a lot of people.
Yeah.
Oh, this is pressure. I'm like missing one more, right?
Yeah.
This is hard. I hate these because I don't like to put anyone, like, not name anyone. Like, the list can go on. So,
Yeah. Anybody watching?
okay. One. I'm gonna be cheesy. The last one, I'll leave it to my other half. Was Briscoe. Super talented, comes from a great background, his family, and my father-in-law is Gerald Briscoe, so that's huge knowledge that I soak up as a sponge every time from him. But anyone out there, I love the indies. I love wrestling TV, so I hate getting put on the spot to pick because everyone's good.
And where does he work for wrestling?
Where what?
Your husband, right, Wes?
Where does he work?
Yeah, like what?
Right now, he's not. He's a free agent.
Oh, okay.
So he's open to anything. I'm trying to draw him to be at AEW. But they have these rumors going on about Aces and Eights and Impact, so I don't know and can't really give details on all that. That's all him. You guys should get him on your podcast, actually. But he's a free agent. So
you have his can you tell us his Instagram?
Yeah.
Yes, it is West Briscoe 19.
Briscoe 19. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
It's like a black and white picture as his profile picture.
Oh yeah, I think I found it. Okay, yeah.
You guys can go on my Instagram, just click one of my images with him. I always tag him. I'm that annoying.
Great.
I always tag him.
Oh, great. So yeah, get him signed, everybody. So
heck yeah, he needs to get signed.
Yeah. So going on to my final question until we get into the hobbies, all that. What's it like working with all those wrestlers backstage?
It's amazing. I think a lot of the time, because we're in the indies and not even, let me just say, when you first start wrestling, you do shows where you see these big names and your first thought is but we're all human. It's not until you really get to work with them that you truly see oh my God, these are people that I grew up watching since I was little, and they're so sweet and they're just human. So it's so much better because it's there's not that pressure because we're all wrestlers, so everyone can just genuinely be themselves. I met Matt Hardy maybe 6 years ago. I was 2-3 months in. I literally just went with my trainer on the road with him. He had a match and Matt Hardy was on the card. So they were having a conversation. I was able to, listen in on the conversation. And it was when he had his first son. His son was a little baby. I met his wife. And fast forward 6 years later, I go to my first tapings, to my first AEW show, and he's there. And it was I didn't get treated any different. He hugs everybody. Super sweet guy. Dustin, too. We get in the ring with him, the girls, a lot. Super sweet guy. Love working with him. Everyone's very sweet backstage, and it's just cool because you look at certain people and you're there for the first time with certain people. My first impression of Brian Cage was oh man, this guy's huge. He's scary, and he's really good friends with Wes. So he looked at me and was why do you look so familiar? And I'm oh yeah, Wes is my partner. And then he's oh yeah, you look familiar. He gave me this huge hug, and then I was man, had I not met him, when you just meet him up front, you're oh man, he's kind of mean. But to me personally, he was super, super sweet and super welcoming, and that's the entire roster at AEW. So that's what I like the most about working with them.
Yeah, so that is it from Jordan and I. So we will go into the hobbies. So what do you like to do during this board time? Okay,
so during quarantine, right? Not or regular.
Yes, during quarantine. You could say both. Just during.
Okay, so regular. I used to dance before, so I do that a lot on my free time. I'll go to dance studios, or I still have this dance company that I have worked with for years. So if they have shows and stuff like that, they always still call me, even though I'm on if I'm on the road or not. But I dance. I'm really big now on meditating, because wrestling and the world and how everything is can really mess you up mentally. So I'm big on meditation. I love to dance. I love to sing and drive. If I'm stressed out, I'll just get in my car and drive and sing. I don't sing good. Don't ask me to sing. I sing my heart out, but I'm not a good singer. And
Same here.
yeah, I like to watch a lot of reality TV. Only because I don't watch a lot of TV. So when I do, yes, you'll catch me watching Jersey Shore and MTV's The Challenge. I'm that type of girl. I love reality TV, but that's just because I don't watch TV a lot in general. So when I do, I don't like to watch anything that's like too serious. I like laughing. I like the drama. I like to give myself a little break. And I'm very big on spending time with my family because when I'm on the road, I don't see them a lot. And now I moved to Orlando with West, so I'm not always back home. So that's something really big for quarantine that I've enjoyed. I'm back home. My mom, my sister, and my little niece, who's 2 years old, terrible twos. So she's always a good time because I learn new things with her. But that's what I've been doing quarantine, just mainly family time.
Great. Yeah. So a lot of people watch movies. A lot of people read books. What movies, what books do you read during quarantine?
I just started reading the autobiography of the Bella twins. It's weird because like me and my sister are like, we're not twins, we're 2 years apart, but we're almost twins. So it's like we've gone through almost like a lot of the same things that Nikki and Brie have. And I just kind of wanted to get deeper into like their story and what they've gone through because I've gone through similar things. So I've always like bonded a lot with them about that. So I'm reading that book right now. I read a lot about like, I'm really big on like I said, oh my god, meditating. So I read a lot about like manifestation and like crystals and crystal healing. I love a lot of like things with the universe and energy and vibes and law of attraction. I do a lot of reading that. Movies, when I have a chance to watch them, I'm big on action movies. I love like Bad Boys 3, Creed. I watch that type of stuff. I don't have a lot of time to watch TV. When I do, it's always more like reality TV.
Oh yeah, great. So now everybody listens to music. You could just like the first question to the hobbies. You could name music you listened to before, and maybe some new music you've listened to into going into quarantine.
Okay. Really big on Spanish music. My family's Colombian, so I listen to a lot of Spanish music, and I used to dance. So I love listening to like bachata, which is like Romeo Santos. All of those. I love all that. I love like Dominican. They call it like Dominican dembow, which is like Dominican party music, kind of like to turn you up. I'm big on that. Love country music. I just got into it maybe like a year or two ago, but I love listening to country music. My top favorite artist right now is Kiana Lede. She's like regular high-pitched singer. She does the best covers. You guys should see her on YouTube. Check her out on YouTube. And I'm a fan of like R&B. I listen to some rap, but mainly Spanish, country, a lot of Kiana Lede and Kelani. I love like emotional music that I can sing to. I listen to a little bit of everything, but I've been very more like on R&B during quarantine.
Great. So some new music you picked up. Yeah. So Jordan, anything else to say before I'm gonna wrap this up? So.
Other than I hope that you get signed to AEW. I hope your husband either goes to Impact or AEW. Hopefully you drag him over to AEW.
Yeah.
And I just hope the best.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. You guys feel free to tweet tweet everyone, let everyone know that you guys want Red Velvet to get signed.
Yeah.
And we can make that happen. And I'm very grateful that you guys chose me to do this podcast today.
Yeah, and hopefully
speaking of which, we forgot to ask this one question. Where do you see yourself in the next few years, maybe a few months?
Few months, definitely, hands down. The goal is AEW. I love just the work environment, just the vibe they gave me the first time I went, them not knowing who I was or just not being signed. The locker room, the girls' locker room's amazing. Like, sign, not sign, you're part of the family. So definitely the goal is to work with them full time at this moment. I'm open for any opportunities. I'm looking into I want to travel the world. I want to wrestle, you know, in the UK,
Hmm.
Japan, Mexico. I'm working a deal to go to Mexico as well. So whatever life gives me, as long as I could just be healthy and continue to wrestle, that's, you know, I want to wrestle on my terms, which AW is very big on that, just like open to ideas and everything. But if the life doesn't go that way and I'm in the independent scene, I can still do everything my way, my terms. So I'm grateful for whatever happens.
Yeah, and hopefully that tournament will get the ball rolling so you can get
Yeah.
signed. Yeah, and if your husband does get signed, I mean, AEW could always have the idea of mixed tag teams. So
Heck yeah. I think like I want to bring on his dad because, you know, you have Tully Blanchard, you have Arn Anderson there. Like, dude, no, I need to bring like Gerald Briscoe in my corner as my manager, you know, so I can
yeah,
go for some
package deal.
titles.
Package deal,
Yeah.
yeah. So we're gonna wrap it up here. Thank you so much. We're just gonna share our screen one more time for every rude person that skipped at the beginning. Please do not skip right now because this is important. You need to follow her to get more info.
It's important. Pay attention. Follow my social media, Time of Wrestling Podcast is social media, their Twitter, my Twitter, Facebook, YouTube. Check it out.
Yeah, everybody go do that. And forgot to ask this before. Do you have any merch?
Yes, I do have merch. Currently, if you guys know fans or anyone who wants to DM me personally for signed 8x10s, I'll be happy to sign those, ship them out to you guys. I have some pins that say 5 foot fine, sweeter than wine with a cupcake on it, which are cute. But if you want t-shirts, you can purchase those at Pro Wrestling Tees. I have 4 active designs up now.
Oh, great. So what is it under for Pro Wrestling Tees? Is everybody just this
Pro Wrestling Tees in the search box. You can just click Red Velvet. That's Velvet with 2 T's, guys. And it should pop up.
Oh, great. So yeah, I actually have it right here. So everybody, I will show you how to find it. Or wait,
Yeah.
no. How do you spell it?
RED, red, and then
Oh.
Velvet is with 2 T's.
Oh,
But
okay.
you got to space it out.
Oh, okay. So space it out. Okay. Yeah, because this is very challenging. We had somebody else on the podcast that had this, and they had the same name. So
Yeah, I need to hold on. Let me peek real quick because I have it written down, so I can tell you guys exactly how to find it.
oh
Yeah. So if
Found
you
it.
just put, you found it.
yeah. So
Okay, cool.
we'll share our screen so everybody can also find it. So yeah, and just tell me if this is you because like last time somebody had the same name for like 3 other people, so the merch is really confusing.
Yeah,
So
Well,
is this it?
that is it right there.
Yeah. So look at the designs, $20, and Jordan, you could give the fact that you always put out.
this is a true fact because I know at least 95% of America does have $20 to spend. Just go to
Of
Pro
course.
Wrestling Tees and go to Red Velvet with 2 T's, by the way, not 1 T, and go buy some merch. It's only
Yeah.
$20.
Yeah,
It's not
so
that
everybody
hard,
go buy the
guys.
merch. There's 4 shirts to pick from, so a great variety. And you heard her, pins that are and other things that are signed. So definitely go get that. And we're gonna just do what we did before by saying everybody's Instagrams and everything like that. So go follow her here. It's right here, so everybody go search it up with that. And don't forget what my co-host said: 2 T's. Don't forget the 2 T's, like I did.
2 T's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't forget like I did. And then the YouTube too. Go check it out, and then go check ours out. Oh, time running out, so that's perfect. We're wrapping it up now. So Times Wrestling Podcast. Go follow us if you're not. You're kind of crazy if you're not following us, everybody. So go
Seriously,
follow.
give them a follow.
Yeah. Thank you so much. So
Thank you for having me.
yeah, I can't stress this enough. Thank you for responding, and then first off, thank you for responding. Second off, thank you for saying yes.
Thank you.
You could always message us if you want us to shout out merch or anything like that.
Sure.
Yeah, if we do see you get signed, and we hope in a few months to even few weeks, we will definitely put that on our story and on our Twitter. So everybody go check that out if you want to see that. So
Thank you. Appreciate you guys.
yeah, and then everybody go check out the Twitter. I'm gonna refresh. I don't think it changed, but hopefully it did. No, nobody changed. It didn't change.
Actually, it did, yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, great. So everybody go follow that. And we're just going to wrap it up. Again, I can't stress this enough. Thank you for coming on the show.
No
Anytime.
problem.
And we hope to get your husband on the show too.
Yes, get him on the show.
Yeah.
And just stay for 1 minute right after we end.
Yeah, because we're gonna have to get the. Do you want us to send you the video or?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. So we'll just go over the email and everything. Okay. Thank you, everybody. We are
No
out.
problem.
Jordan, do you want to say anything else?
Thank you so much for saying yes. You were one of the first few people that we asked, and we were lucky enough to get a yes.
Oh, thanks. No, of course.
Yeah.
Happy you guys contacted me.
Yeah. Of
Thank
course.
you.
So we're gonna stop right here. Everybody, please go check this out on YouTube, and then a 1 minute snippet of it on Instagram. So everybody, thank you and bye.